Let's do a quick review of the 68, 95, 97, 99.7 rule. So one standard deviation in either direction, like this, over here, gives you 68% of the data. So think of it as an area. Doesn't this look like about 68 over half of the area of this entire graph? Okay, now if we think of things in terms of area, don't forget the area of this graph is 1, right? So 0.68 would be that area right there. Now, what if you are right? I'm going to draw all over this thing, so get ready. Here it is. So what if you are right there in the middle? Well, what is your percentile? Well, you are at the 50th percentile. So if we think of things as things that are below this line, well, that's 50% of the graph down there. Okay. Now, what if what is that as far as your standard deviation? Well, if you're right at the average, you haven't deviated from the mean at all, so that would be like a z-score of 0. What will your z-score be up here at 1 standard deviation? Well, it's 1 standard deviation. But what's your percentile? Okay, well, let's see. This was 68, right? Well, let's see. Here we are at the 50% mark, right? 68 divided by 2 would give me 34. So this little area right here is 34% added to the 50%. That at 1 standard deviation gives me the 84th percentile. Okay, so what if you were to say, well, what if I have something, I get a z-score, and my z-score is 1.34, like that. 1.34. Well, that's right up in, I don't know, like right here. We could estimate it, right? Here's the 84th. So you're probably in the 90 range, something like that. Well, let's find out what it is exactly. So 1.34 for table A. Anyway, the next slide I'm going to actually try to do kind of a problem. So here we go. Next slide. Let's talk about football practice. How long is a football practice the day before a game? So they're usually shorter, just doing some run-through, special teams, all like that. So let's get these guys out of the way. And let's see. I'm going to go with, how about 2 hours? Now, don't forget, we're going to do, this is going to be mu. Mu is going to be 120 minutes. How about that? It'll make it easier if we make it in minutes. 2 hours. And it's mu because we don't poll every single high school in California. We just polled 100 of them. Big and small, we kind of try to get a little bit of everything. And the standard deviation, which is now sigma, let's just say it's fairly close. How about 8 minutes? Okay? They're all pretty close to 2 hours. Now, let's draw this graph. So what does this graph look like? So we draw our normal curve, right? That's what they call it. And right in the middle, we're going to say that's 120 minutes. Okay. Now, turns out that your practice goes 132 minutes. Okay, we'll call that X is 132 minutes. Now, what is your percentile? So how many schools, what's the percentage of schools that have a practice that's less than you? Well, it's probably a lot, right? Because you're already looking at, right here, that would be 128 minutes, right, for 1 standard deviation. So you're already above 1 standard deviation. But let's see the exact percentile. So what do we do with that? Z-score, here we go. Z-score is, we do 132, and we subtract the mean, which is 120, and we divide it by the standard deviation, which is 8. And what number does that give us? So it gives us a standard deviation of 1.5. What is that percentile? Well, that's where table A comes in. So way in the back of the book, you're going to have to find it. I know you can do it. It's way, way, way back there near the back cover. Table A. Now, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like, or the piece that we need to look at for 1.5 standard deviation. And here it is. here is table A. So if you look at it, we're going to look for, what is it? Where is it? Look, 1.5 is right here. It was actually 1.5 exactly, right? So let's see. So what if it was 1.52? You would say 1.52 is, say, 1.52 would be that. But we had 1.5 exactly. So right here, that is our percentile, 0.9332. So at 1.5, our percentile is going to be like the 93.32. Is that a, can you say that with a TH? 93.32. So that's our percentile. So now what if you said, well, you know what? What if you were at the low end? How about you wanted to know the person who was at the 27th percentile? In other words, only 27% of the schools have a practice that's shorter than that. So 27th percentile, we got to look at table A again. So hold on a second. So in this case, I know what the percentile is. Let's see, where is it? So I got to find in this table around as close as I can to 25. So let's see. Here we are at, that would be the 27th. Let me see if I can find it. Aha, here it is. I found it. Right here. So 2514. Okay, now I gotta figure out. So I go across the table. So I gotta go across. Let me see if I can do this. Cross over here, right? Looks like it's negative 0.6. So negative 0.6. Negative 0.6. But negative 0.6. But then on the top, 07. Negative 0.67. Okay, negative 0.67. So I went across and up. See? Negative 0.06. I'm making a mess of this thing. Negative 0.06. And then I'm switching from moving to drawing to the... Oh, I did it again. Stupid! Okay. Oh my God, you are dumb. 07. All right. Across and up. 0.607. Not 607. Negative 0.67. Ah. So there it is. What is that? Oh, that's the z-score, right? So if you're at the, what do we want? The 27th percentile? Is that what we said? 27th percentile. Okay. What would our z-score be? Negative 0.67. Okay. Now, I wonder, could we figure out what the actual time would be? Well, we know it's negative 0.67 is the z-score, right? We know that the average is 120 minutes, and the standard deviation was 8 minus solve, and we could figure out exactly how many minutes that practice would be that was at the 27th percentile. Huh. It's all good stuff. Okay. Hope that wasn't too confusing, because we will do a bunch of that next time I see you. All right. Goodbye.